Hello, hi, and welcome back. I bet you didn't think you'd be seeing me again. I didn't think you'd be seeing me again, to be fair. A lot of stuff's gone on, so this is just a little update, um, what's been going on and what I'm kind of planning to do. So, firstly, uni side. I withdrew from the module before it even started back in October. This was for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons, I think, if you remember, if you've been following what I've been doing, I wanted to do English language and literature. And a lot of that was because some part of me, somewhere deep inside, thought that maybe at some point I could go abroad and teach English. Um, Probably a bit more of a pipe dream, to be honest, but I got my teaching English as a foreign language diploma. But then when I really looked into it, especially since Brexit, because I'm not really interested in going to the Far East or anything like that. But I was looking at places in Europe, and since Brexit, it's not really feasible at the moment. So that kind of disheartened me slightly. But I mean, the major factor was finances, and with all the bills going up, plus I've got to remortgage very soon, and it's not looking good because the last time I did it was 5 years ago. So it's not looking good. So I had to be sensible because it was my second degree and it wasn't in a science. I had to self-fund, and I had to take the sensible option and withdraw. I am hoping to go back, but I think my plans have changed slightly. If I do go back, it's not going to be at least until next October, so over a year and a half away anyway. But I'm still, part of me is going right back to the beginning when I was interested in history. I still am interested in history, but I still like literature. So I don't know whether I'm going to maybe do a mixture, which you can do at the Open University. You can do like the general arts and humanities degree, and you can pick subjects from, well, you could do two subjects. So you could do half literature, half history, or half of any other subject you wanted to. So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I did enroll for a A-level in history quite a while ago. I don't know if any of you remember that, but I'm still enrolled. So I just kind of, to give me something to do, have been plotting over that for a little bit. But recently I've kind of given myself a kick up the backside and I've restarted it from scratch. And that is what I'm planning to do at the moment. It's going to be, as I say, a year and a half before I even look at going back to university. So I'm just going to work through that slowly at my own pace. But also with the reading side of things, I just completely stopped. And I don't know why, really. I don't know whether I was going through this slump, whether it's because I had to drop out of uni, couldn't afford to do it, and other stuff going on. And I just felt like, meh. And recently I've just been looking back and thinking, why? Why did I stop? Because I actually did enjoy the reading. Even if I wasn't going to be studying it, I actually, I was picking up a different book every week for the best part of a year, and I absolutely loved it. I do think I have a definite niche when it comes to what I like to read, and that is Victorian literature or early sort of classics and historical fiction. I bought some other books, just not really into those, to be honest. So what's next? So the uni side, I say, is going to be about a year and a half at least. It may even be another year on top of that. It depends how my finances work out. But I am like ploughing money into credit cards at the moment. So hopefully by next year I'll be in a better position. Reading wise, so what really kicked my backside was I saw a post about the Walter Scott Prize for Historical Fiction, and they're releasing the long list next week. And I just remember how much fun I had reading the shortlist last year and kind of going through reviewing them and ranking them. So I thought, why not go back into it? But this year, try the long list and try and read all the books on the long list before the shortlist is revealed. So that's what I'm planning to do. Whether it turns out that I actually do that, I managed to get all of them done anyway, because I believe, well, if I'm going off last year's timetable, it was the beginning of May the shortlist was revealed, and then it was the mid-June where the winner was announced. So if it's the same, then that gives me about 2.5 months to read, I'm assuming 12 books, which will be on the long list. So that's the plan. But I am then going to continue with the Victorian literature that I've bought. I've got so much that I still haven't read. I've bought even more since the last videos I've done. I've got the whole Jane Austen collection, which I know is pre-Victorian, but I did read Sense and Sensibility last year. I haven't done a video for it, but I absolutely loved it. I've not felt that sort of impressed by it reading since I picked up Jane Eyre. Like that feeling when I first read Jane Eyre, I like really enjoyed it. It spoke to something inside me. And I've enjoyed a lot of the other books I've read, but yeah, reading Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility, yeah, it just awoke something in me that I hadn't felt since reading Jane Eyre. And, you know, I was so surprised at how accessible it is, considering it's even earlier than Jane Eyre. It's pre-Victorian, so you know, you think, oh, it's going to be quite difficult to read, not going to understand a lot, but it's really accessible and actually quite witty and funny. So I'm thinking what I might do once I've done the Walter Scott Prize is go back to Jane Austen and Sense and Sensibility and do a video on it when I've reread it, because if I try and do it now, it's, yeah, I read it for last July, so when they did Jane Austen July last year, that's when I read it. That's when I should have done the video on it. I didn't. So yeah, I'm going to wait and then read that. I am currently also reading Shirley by Charlotte Bronte. This has been a labour of love. Labour because it's been hard. Love because I still love the Brontes. And this is my 5th Bronte novel, my 2nd Charlotte Bronte novel. It's just, it is obviously very different to Jane Eyre. There's still some nods to the writing style, I would say. You know, there's still bits where you can definitely tell it's Charlotte Bronte. You know, we have bits where the reader is addressed directly, even though the main narrative is in 3rd person. The bones of the story actually I'm quite enjoying. Obviously, it's Charlotte Bronte's only historical novel, written mid-1800s, I think 1849, but set in sort of 1811, 1812. So we were still in the grips of the French Wars, the Napoleonic Wars. You know, things are quite hard for the poorer working classes. And, you know, the story begins with a factory owner who's kind of replacing people for machinery. So we have all of that going on. So yeah, I'm enjoying the bones of the story, but it just feels like there's been a lot of filler put in there to try and make it a bit more adult maybe. But I just find it, some bits have been quite tedious. And I mean, Shirley, it's called Shirley. You don't even see Shirley for the first 100 pages or more. And I was like, where's Shirley? Where's this Shirley? Yeah. So what I might do as well, I'm going to try and get that finished because it's taken me months. You know, I started off well, and then it'd be like, oh, I'd read a chapter and then not look at it for a week, 2 weeks. So yeah, it's pretty much, I would say, 4 to 5 months I've been on Shirley. But I'm now determined. I've got about 70 pages left and I'm going to try and get that finished by the weekend. So when Wednesday, I believe, the Walter Scott Prize for Historical Fiction longlist is announced, I'm ready to start purchasing and reading and reviewing, because, as I said, I've been in this slump, but I kind of thought back and remembered how much I really enjoy this. I mean, I know the videos don't really get very far with, you know, the audience, but, you know, that was the other reason I kind of stopped, because part of the reason I was doing these videos was for myself, like to gain sort of confidence in not just speaking, presenting myself, but also in interpreting literature. And when I stopped studying, I thought, well, there's no need to kind of practice those skills. But actually, I still enjoyed it. Who cares that only 100 people watch the videos? Who cares? So that is the plan anyway. It's good to be back. How long I stay back for, who knows? I'm just going to take it at my own pace, not really try to put too much pressure on myself, because I think that's what it got to last year. I was like, I need to do this, I need to read this, I need to finish this, I need to do a video. Now I'm just going to do it at my own pace, and hopefully, you know, you enjoy the ride as much as I do. So that's the plan. Shirley coming up in the next few days when I finish it. And then when the Walter Scott Prize for Historical Fiction longlist is announced, I'll get on that, I guess. And then when that's finished, I'm going to again return to my Victorian literature. So that's what's been going on with me. Hope everyone's well. And hopefully I'll see you in a few days with a discussion about Shirley.